It's Friday night pint, and we are live here to talk about all the latest going-ons, the big stories in the West Ham world in this what has been a flat season. There's still much to talk about, and we're going to be talking about potentially some big American investment. Rumors about a mysterious, mega rich American buying out the gold shares of the club. So we'll be talking about that, who it could be, what it could mean for West Ham. West Ham as well announcing the release of 4 players. They will be not renewing their contract. We're talking about that, and one name that was surprisingly absent from that list, that and much more. But first of all, Scott, I've got a drink today.
Cheers, mate. Funny enough, mate, I've been ill, so I'm proper rough at the minute. So I've got a drink, and I'm drinking whiskey. You know, old fashioned remedy with a bit of whiskey in it to try and help shift the cold. So I can't have too much. I'm on bloody cool. So
I tell you what, right? About a good few weeks ago, I was ill.
Yeah.
But fucking Damo Jace dragged me out to where Jace works behind the bar.
Yeah.
And whiskey does the job, didn't it?
Mate, that's a trick.
But I got so bang on whiskey. I drank like nearly a bottle of whiskey, near enough. Threw up everywhere.
Yep.
Felt like shit the next day. However, it cured the flu that I had. It cured the sickness. I demolished it. I absolutely demolished it with.
So basically, what you're saying is, Dan, is that whenever you're ill, it's a good excuse to drink whiskey.
Exactly. Just get bang on it. Just get bang on the whiskey.
I think it's been an eventful day, though. So we bought me littlest boy's birthday, so happy birthday, Finley. He's 4. And my niece's birthday. I'm not going to say how old she is, but happy birthday to my niece, Tanya, as well.
Tanya, happy birthday, Tanya. Not seen her at West Ham in a while.
No, she's coming back, apparently.
Good time to come back, eh? Okay, now. But lots to talk about. Let's yes, and you didn't even know you were sick. What do you mean I didn't know I was? I knew I was sick when I went out. Oh, I didn't know I threw up. No, I knew I threw up at the I knew I threw up in the bar.
In the bar?
That. Yeah, we was in the bar. We had a lock-in. And there was a point, me and Damo was like passed out, and I was like that, and I fucking just threw up on him.
Yeah, mate. How did you do that to him?
He deserved it. He was pushing more and more whiskey. I wanted to switch to beers. Nah, you got to stick with whiskey. It's not strong enough beer. So, you know what I mean. And then, but I got home and threw up in the bathroom everywhere and went to bed. I didn't even realize I'd done it. I had no idea. Completely oblivious. And yes.
Come on, who had to clean all that up? Come on.
Well, my mum was visiting. She came and was faced with it as soon as she came round.
I feel for you. I feel for you.
It's a job, isn't it? It's mum's job. That's it. Do you know what the worst thing is? Yeah, I'm such a fucking bug. Like whenever my mum was sick, like throwing up, I'd like shut the door because it would make me feel sick hearing her throw up. I'm not doing this sick.
Mate, when I'm sick, right? Literally, I've been. I used to be sick quite a lot. I ain't too bad now with booze, right? But I'd be sick. I remember one time I was ill, and it was all over me bathroom and everything. I cleaned the entire bathroom while still drunk. Mrs. got up in the morning, and it was like, "Oh, was you sick last night?" I was like, "Yeah." She went, "Oh, why is it so clean in here?" I said, "Well, it's what you got to do, isn't it? When you're sick, you got to clean up after yourself."
Well, listen, like there's levels of pissness. And the level I was, like I said, I was just completely oblivious, absolutely ridiculous. So speaking of sick, West Ham are sick. We have a sickness in this club, and we are hoping we can cure it with money and investment from a mysterious, mega rich American who apparently wants to buy David Gold's shares. There is currently, apparently, it's in negotiation stages. They are apparently they've been looking to sell up, see themselves. David Gold passed away, and I think Vanessa Gold passed away. So they're looking to sell up. It's about 25.1% of the club's share, which I think they must have, because I think David Gold, didn't he have like 30 odd %?
Yeah,
before?
I think didn't he sell some to
Kaczynski,
yeah.
So but yeah, we don't know his identity. Apparently he is quite wealthy, according to shout out to X. And it's in the early stages of it. But look, a few people have said there about, it's not Trip Smith, who obviously already has investment in the club. I think he has a very small share, didn't he, Trip Smith, who's another American investment.
Yeah.
Now, American ownership is very dubious. It's not. American owners haven't been popular. The Glazers, the Cronkies, FSG, Villa's American owners they had before.
Yep.
They're just not very popular with fans. They don't seem to really get it. They don't seem to buy it, have a buy-in. But this is an interesting thing right now to raise money, inject some capital.
Yep.
And if they're an investor, that sounds like me. They're an investor, which means they want a return on their investment. They're not a buyer or anything like that. It's, I want to pump some money in this club, raise the value of the club, and then hopefully when it gets sold, make a tidy profit.
Yeah.
And that's what it sounds.
Yeah, exactly. And look, this is the problem. We've seen how American investment isn't the way to do it, and I think there was a couple of comments there, saying about it, that how American investment in football clubs have just dumped debt from their franchises in America. Like with the Glazers, they dumped all their debt onto Manchester United, and left the club in probably one of the worst positions it's been in over probably 30 years, let's be honest.
Yeah.
So it's very hit and miss with American owners, really, really is. You've got the $1 million dream with Wrexham at the moment with the investment there, but I suppose in a way Ryan Reynolds is Canadian, so it probably don't count. I don't know where the other guys are.
Rob is American, but it seems like they genuinely care.
Yeah.
And they don't have they don't have other sports franchises or anything like that. They wanted a story, they invest, and they had a buy-in. Like the Glazers, you don't get that FFG. They're very cold, hard businessmen.
Yeah.
But I think that's what's key, Scott, is this isn't ownership. This is investment. So Sullivan, love him or hate him, still has the majority. And I think Krasinski will still have more than this person. So they won't be making decisions. They can't saddle their debt if they own another sports team onto us. A lot of the pitfalls of American ownership that other clubs have, they can't do because they're not in charge.
Yeah,
they're So I think that's the positive. Someone said, "Is it the Pope? The Pope's American now." What nonsense is this? I was like, when James told me, I was like, "What?
Really?
You cannot have American popes." I think it's kind of either if they could be from Europe, they could be from Africa, South America, but North America.
Mate, there's a lot of Catholic people in North America.
Do you know what? There's something about the popery, that it's such an ancient old thing. Like America, they're too young to be a pope. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'll get you.
Have an Irish pope. Why haven't we got an Irish pope?
Yeah.
What's that about? American pope. What is he going to do? He's going to be like, do you remember that film King Ralph with what's his name? Someone's going to fucking point it out straight away. Bloody Robbie. No, it was not Robbie Coltrane. Was it? No, it wasn't Robbie Coltrane. King Ralph. It was.
John Candy.
John Goodman.
John Goodman. No, John Goodman's Roseanne, isn't it? Is that John Goodman?
Someone, I haven't seen that film in since the 90s.
Yeah.
Someone told us who was Dan gone all religious. Next he'll be in Speaker's Corner. Obviously, I grew up Catholic. I was raised Catholic. But no one knows the bloody film King Ralph. That is a disgrace. Everyone's talking about nuns on the run. I can't believe it has not come through. It was John Goodman. I was right. Thank you.
There you go. I thought it was John Candy, but it's John Goodman. There you go.
Yeah, not John Candy. Definitely weren't John Candy. Anyway, yeah, he's going to go and start bloody doing all these American stuff on it and try and make him hip and cool. So anyway, yeah, like listen, I don't know how much money the Pope has access to, but if you give us all those Vatican funds, I'll take it. But yeah, will Jeff Bezos would be crazy. I mean, look, he has enough money to just buy the whole club and just do.
Yeah.
And I don't think he would do that to invest. So there's someone with money, but they just want to invest in a club and not buy it outright because they want to buy shares. They don't want to buy the whole club.
Yeah, that's fair enough. And I said it could work out well. You know, we saw a major change in investment in the squad when contingency come in. So it would be good to have a bit more of an investment of people that have got more surplus funds because, as you said, as much as rich as Sullivan is, Sullivan's more rich on paper than he is cash rich, which has been a big reason why we're not why we're sort of regulated more, I think, under the PRS or FFP, whatever you want to call it. So, you know, having more investment coming in would be a good thing. And yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. And for us to climb our way back up to be able to compete in and around them European places, it's going to take some investment now because the squad's in a right 2-8 with players. You know, you see the way Paquetá was getting booked during the game. Obviously, he's emotionally drained from all what's going on. You know, this is the thing, mate. We need big money now. We're on a massive rebuild and we can't really afford to stand still, and we can't afford a rebuild to take 2 to 3 seasons because the way we are at the moment, mate, I don't know whether you feel the same, but I'm worried about the teams coming up because I don't think that we're as good as what we think we are.
Well, do you know what? It really depends on what Leeds, Burnley, and please God, it's not Sheffield United, but what those teams are able to do. I was watching Simon Jordan talk about the PSR thing, you know, for the teams coming up, and it was interesting to see how much FFP PSR has really limited the promoted teams when it comes to competing and staying up. Because I can't go into all the details. I broke it down. I think he had that Kieran Maguire on, or one of the other lads, one of the other financial guys. He was just breaking down like the limitations they have on spending within the first 2 seasons of staying up. So like if they stay up the first season, the cap gets raised a little bit. I think it was like goes from like 60 million to like 80 million or something like that. And then the cap goes higher, you know, to what all of us have after 2 years. So they've got to stay up for 2 years just to have an even playing field to the rest of the league. So yeah, I think that's going to play a part, of course, but you know, you never know. If you find that good squad, it's tough. But for us, yeah, we need it. I don't think we've had very much. I know Kretinsky did inject some cash that was able to spend, but we haven't had much like board investment. Like most of the money we spend, and I said this last Friday, is what we make. It's TV revenue, it's season ticket sales, it's merch. Like you won't find Sullivan sticking his hand in his pocket and spending money, right?
I'm sure wasn't it either last season or the season before where we sat down and worked out the net spend of the club over a certain period of time, even this time where we've spent quite a lot of money. And I think once the Declan Rice money come in, didn't we have like a net spend of 25 million?
Yeah.
And we'd spent like 100 million here, 100 million there on players, and a net spend of 25 million. You know, compared to other teams within the Premier League, that's pennies. Do you know what I mean? This is the crazy thing. And we seem to always plead poverty.
Yeah. But this is the thing with the FFP, this is what really made me laugh when Sean tried to suggest that we're really skating on thin ice with FFP and all of that. And I had to double check the feed, but they say for FFP, you're allowed to lose up to £105 million over a 3-year period, right?
Yep.
And if you exceed that, you face penalties. Now, we, like I said, tend to spend what we bring in.
Yeah.
So that means we have to spend more than the TV money, merch, and season ticket sales that we bring in on wages and player acquisitions than what we earn. But I don't see how that's possible. I don't see how you look when it comes to what we raise in sales, season tickets, and TV rights, which is, up to 100 million quid. I don't see how we're really in danger over the past 3 years with what we've made, what we've brought in. Yeah, it's mental. So
the thing is, what you've got to remember as well, mate. In the space of the last 4 seasons, we've been to a European semi-final. We're a European winners, and we've got a European quarter-final. So we've had extra revenue from the games there. Extra revenue from the TV money for how far we've gone into the competition, plus obviously winnings for the competition. I know it's not mega amounts of money, it's not Champions League money, but it's still a bigger income over 3 seasons, anyway, than what the club has had previously. So you're sitting there and looking at it to with what we have spent is about right. You look at the TV money. You say with the TV money, that's probably the players' wages for the season. 120 million is probably. That's there or thereabouts what it is for the TV revenue. That covers the wages of the players for the season. That's how you got to look at it.
Yeah, you're right. And the thing is as well, what we have to think about with FNP, we're not in Europe anymore, which means which there are stricter rules when you're in Europe where you have to abide by it. So now we're not. We have a little bit more leeway when it comes to that. But it's. I mean, James makes a really good point about that about the FFP affecting that. Makes the Premier League an elite league. It's the Super League. They've turned the Premier League into the Super League, and he said basically the same 25 teams. And it kind of is because you have, the same 17, and then there's another 7 generally that go up and go down because with the parachute payments, because the teams are relegated, they stopped that officially.
Yep.
What? So whoever gets relegated this season?
No, it's been stopped for a while, I believe, the parachute payments.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Have they? I mean, I've literally just listened to TalkSport and I was talking about parachute payments.
I'm sure the parachute payments have been stopped.
And if someone wants to, I'll double check that if someone knows in the meantime. But look, the thing is with the parachute payments, it made the championship less competitive, and that's why you'd see yo-yo clubs because teams that get relegated had the parachute payments and they was able to outspend the rest of the teams. So thank you also Senior for the 79p super chat. If you had a comment you wanted to add to it, then just send that without the super chat and we'll read that out for you, mate, as you've missed that off. But
thank you very much.
Thank you anyway. I've just seen the tweet back in 2023 and saw this. American Robert Bobby Kotick is a name of a potential investor in West Ham. Bobby Kotick. Who is he? Should I know him?
Probably not.
He's a CEO. Oh. I've seen this guy. I know. I'm aware of this guy. Activision Blizzard. He's the chief officer. So Activision Blizzard, they are a company that do games. I think they do Call of Duty World.
Oh, they do. They do one of the Call of Duties, don't they?
Yeah, they do Call of Duty.
Is it Modern Warfare ones?
Yeah, I think they do. Don't they have all the Call of Duties? I thought they had all the Call of Duties.
No, because didn't one I'm sure there's 2 different companies that do it. One do the modern futuristic type, and the other one does the World War II type. Again, I could be wrong.
Well, I mean, I thought they were just all part of the same franchise, but they just did sometimes we'll do an old one, sometimes we'll do a new one. What is his net worth then? I mean, because I can't imagine he's a CEO of a games company. Is he? He can't be mega rich. He's not an owner of 1.3 net worth. Nah, he can do one, mate. He's he's not even worth as much as David Sullivan. That's he's bloody basically another Delia Smith. What's the point of that?
Mate, investment, no matter where it comes from.
No,
you've got the money to invest, it's fine.
is he going to be able to invest what we need? I mean, I'd be interested to see what they think 28% worth of West Ham is worth. Like, I mean, you'd have to look at what West Ham as a whole is worth. If someone was to buy us, they reckon £1 billion, right?
Yeah.
If we're worth £1 billion, and someone correct me if my maths is wrong, but that would make it £280 million he's buying their shares for.
Yeah, the give or take.
Yeah, roughly.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's Infinity War does the modern. All right, so Scott was right on that. He was right on me.
There was someone said earlier the other car. I can't remember what the other company is, but they do the other version.
Right. So they've got that. Yeah. So listen, this guy, he's not worth a lot of money. So I hope
that's if it's him. That's if it might not be him, mate. It might not be him.
It might not be him. We don't know for sure, but like I said, Matt has brought to our attention that Bobby Kotick, the CEO of Activision Blizzard, was linked to us. See, this is the thing. Like I said, so he'd buy their shares for $280 million. That takes his let's put him down to 1 point pi capital. Oh God, I remember them. That takes it down to like 1.1 billion. And then what's he got to spend on us? What's he got to invest? Because that's not investment. He's not giving West Ham 280 million. He's giving the Golds 280 million, if that is what it is. That's a hypothetical number I've put out, but let's just say that's what it is. The Golds take that and fuck off. What does he then give to West Ham when he's given, that's like what, fucking 20% of his net worth that he's just giving away.
It can't be that. It can't be that. And the thing is as well is that I don't know how investment in football clubs work. Obviously, like you said, they buy their stake. So their stake, whatever they buy the club for, that 20% that they're buying, that goes out of the club. That's him just buying into the club.
Yeah, he doesn't have to actually invest money into the team.
That's what I'm saying. How does that work?
He could just have the shares, so he could buy the shares, do absolutely nothing, and then when the club gets sold, he gets whatever those shares are worth. Yeah. Whatever those shares are bought for, he gets, and he doesn't have to spend a penny. Now, it could be in his interest if he thinks, okay, well, if I inject this amount of money, like 100 million into the playing team to buy players, will my shares be worth more if the team does better? So if the club gets sold and West Ham are like in Europe, can I get more of a return on my investment? So that is somewhere where he might do it, but then that again, he don't have to do it.
No.
So it's very interesting, but it could be someone maybe with a bit of ambition that's beyond just. It's the thing is, it's going to be Sullivan West Ham anyway until Sullivan goes. The club as a whole isn't going to change. We just might have money to play with. That's it. Rich makes a really good point. £5 super chat. Thank you very much, Rich, mate. Got no money, but had 57 million to offer Villa for Duran. The club has more stories than the Empire State Building. Yeah, spot on, mate. Spot on.
That sums it up absolutely perfectly. We've got no money, but here's 57 million for Duran. And this again, this is where we plead poverty, then we invest money, offer these silly sums of money, and then plead poverty again. So you can't you can't sit there and say there's not money there. Look, we know as well as we do, but they just manage people's expectations. They want other clubs to think we're skint. I think they still believe that they work everything the way they used to, and it doesn't work like that anymore. Clubs know how much money you've got. They've got people, monitoring situations and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's it. That's the thing. So listen, hopefully whoever it is has the right intentions. Treyarch, Scott. I haven't heard of Treyarch. I know about games. I mean, I don't play Call of Duty. I don't play them sort of games.
Yeah.
I've never heard of Treyarch. So hasn't an American consortium invested in Salford? Why would they not invest in West Ham, London-based and Premier League? That makes sense. So with the Salford one, it's a little bit different because David Beckham is attached to Salford. So it's David Beckham and Gary Neville. So the others, Giggs, Scholes, and the other one, can't remember who the other lad was. The other lad, he's about twice my age. They've got rid of their. I think they've sold their stake, and they were
You
on
mean
as like.
Nicky Butt?
Is it Nicky Butt? Yeah, I think it was Nicky Butt.
Yeah.
They've sold their bit. So basically, it because of Beckham. Like Beckham is a big name in America. He's famous. But you're right. Like we are so ripe for a takeover and a big investment. I don't want it to be American. Listen, all money's the same. However, it's the intention behind it. I want someone to buy West Ham that has ambition to take this club where it needs to go, not someone that sees us as a way to make a profit.
No, exactly, and that's the thing, and that's why, as we said, with American investment, it's tough. The thing is, what you're saying is right, mate. You want someone to come in and invest in the club or buy the club to move the club forward, right? But what we don't want to see is someone coming in, buying the club, moving the club forward at the expense of average working class fans like we are.
Yeah,
you know, because this is the thing, and this is where the Premier League, it's certain clubs within the Premier League are trying to become elitist. You know, we see it week in, week out. Look, there's no disrespect for a tourist coming to watch the game. You know, come and watch the game, invest in the club, spend your money in the club because it all benefits the team. And at the end of the day, you can support this club from America, from anywhere around the world you want, and you want to come to a game, come to the game. But as we see at the football club, there's too many tourists there. Oh, it's Premier League. Not there to, oh, I'm a West Ham fan, I want to join in, I want to get involved in everything. They're just, I want to go and see a Premier League game, so I'll just go there and sit down. You know, or I'll go there and it's West Ham versus Arsenal, and I'll just buy a ticket with my Arsenal shirt and go and sit in the West Ham end. You know, this is the thing. We want to push on, we want to progress, we want to climb up the table and be there competing with the big boys, but not at the expense of us. And that's the main thing. The fans that drive the football club. And this is the big thing. There's such a detachment now from modern day football and the fans. And this is the culture's got to change within football clubs. They've got to embrace the fans now because we are what makes the teams the way they are.
That's why I would love, you know, like I said, if owners with the mindset of Ryan Reynolds and Rob, who. This people like slate it because they've been able to inject money and get Wrexham up the table. But like I said, they have that connection. They care about the working class fan. They care about the community. They've been able to do wonderful things for the local community, wonderful things for disabled fans, and all of that sort of stuff. And that's what you need. You need someone that actually gives a shit and is still in touch with just regular people and isn't there for status symbol or just to make a profit. So like I said, this regardless anyway, then like I said, they're not going to be able to make any real key decisions. They'll have a vote. I think like their vote hit their share and Kretinsky's share could add up. Could that out? I think that can outvote Sullivan. How much has Sullivan got now? I thought it was like 49% or 40%, 38%. So yeah, Kretinsky has 27%. So this secret American investor could, get together with Kretinsky and vote against Sullivan, I guess, on the decision. Right? I'm not super clued up on boards and things like that, but yeah, I think at the end of the day, Sullivan's still the majority shareholder. So
he has overall control of the football club.
Yeah.
That's why he's the chairman. He basically runs the football club. So, and he ain't going to sack himself.
Yeah. So, like I said, in reality, until Sullivan's gone, nothing's really going to change. We just need a little bit more money to play with to keep us ticking. And then we just got to hope and pray that the next person really cares. Like with Newcastle's Saudi owners, right? I don't think they've grew up and they was Newcastle fans or cared about Newcastle, right? But they obviously have ambition. They are doing stuff to develop the local area. They're building them like a new stadium, all of that. So they they're coming in with the right intentions to do what's best for Newcastle and try and turn Newcastle into a superpower in the Premier League. So that's all. That's the type of owner we need. Now, whether you're against American ownership, you're against Saudi ownership, whatever, right? Doesn't matter. Like if you come in with the right intentions for the football club and put West Ham in a good position and do not do damage to West Ham, because some they can end up really damaging a club, and that's the worry.
Yeah, and that's that's the thing. It's one of them things where, as we said, you just got to be careful what you wish for. You know, at the end of the day, it can work, but also we've seen that it can't. You know, it can completely backfire, and you end up in a 10 times worse situation than it was. As I said earlier on, you don't want to be saddled with debt. And that's the big thing that Americans like to do. They like to saddle their debt. And I know what you said with, the fact that he's not buying the club, he can't saddle us with any debt. A potential investor can slowly, somewhere along the lines of buying more and more shares into the club to take over the club, and then potentially saddle us with a load of debt if it's someone that owns a franchise. And also the other thing that you get with Americans and all that is that you get people that sort of buy into companies, dismantle it bit by bit, and sell it on. Which I think the other American owner was very, very much like that. Not the American owner, the other American guy that bought in Trip Smith. That's what he buys. He buys up companies, dismantles them bit by bit, selling off pieces here and there, and absorbs the bits that he wants to keep into his own company. So that's the other thing you've got to be very, very careful of.
Yeah, that's it. Like I said, look, as long as it's, I'm in the meantime, I've no problem with people buying little shares and increasing the value of the club and then selling it on, right? I don't care, because eventually there'll be a sale. So in the meantime, as long as they can't make any decisions and they have some shares, we can buy shares in publicly traded companies. We can go and do that. Doesn't mean we can, unless we buy the majority of the shares, doesn't mean we can make any decision and affect the club. So, yeah, fingers crossed. Like I said, it'd be nice to just have a win, have something positive happen. So, yeah, we've still got a long way to go. So Red 5 says the money has been wasted on losses. Haller, Skamaka, Vlasic, Anderson, Cornet, Ings, and Kilman. Other than Rice, when have West Ham made a significant profit on our investments? That this comes down to infrastructure and how the club is run, and that is the problem, because a lot of these signings, we had, like we said, we always said, scattergun approach. Too many cooks in the kitchen. Sullivan signing, manager signing. Oh, let's bring the sport director in. You have a signing. Nobes, oh, you fancy him? All right, we'll bring him in. And you have all different fucking players, like all these chefs putting their ingredients in, and it's just, you make a mess. And if you have someone like let's say Newcastle owners or like Man City owners, whatever, who come in, they recognize their limitations, they invest the money, they place the right people in the right positions, and let them do their job. They don't interfere. I don't hear anything about the guy who owns Newcastle saying, no, I like this player. No, I don't fancy him. My son said he's good on Football Manager. Don't hear none of that from these other clubs. That's what it comes down to.
That's it, mate. And that's the thing. It's just like you said, you don't hear that approach from other clubs because they're such more well organised than we are. That's what it boils down to. Even teams like Man United, who are right 2-8, some of their policies are a lot better than what we've got, and the way we organise things.
Question to the chat as well, by the way. Get a question going. Who do you want to see win that Europa League? Oh, sorry. Who would you? I don't say want to see. Who would you? Be less. Who would you more prefer to win? Who would you prefer to win? I'm making a mess of it now. Obviously, me. I'd love to lose. It sickens me that this is the final of a competition in Europe. It absolutely sickens me. Two crap teams. The actual Conference League this year has better talent in it than this. But I've seen some people say Spurs. I've seen some people, like not many, but a few people, and you're like, and their thing is, well, they don't have a lot of trophies anyway, but Man United are gonna have another one. Like Man United is definitely lesser of two evils, Ollie.
Yeah. This is the thing, and it is that. It's as we said when Spurs got to the Champions League final. I hate Liverpool. I hate Spurs, but I'd rather see Liverpool win it than Spurs win it. And it's exactly the same again. Not a lover of Man United, but the lesser of two evils to win it is Manchester United.
Yeah,
you know that's what we want to see. North London forever not winning a European trophy. That's what we want to see, mate.
North London never.
Yeah.
Not winning the trophy. Yeah. I mean, honestly, it's so funny. Like I am. Yeah, it's going to be anyone but Spurs. They would be unbearable. I love the fact that they don't win trophies. It's going to be very interesting. That game, I'm going to really be interested in seeing what happens. I don't think Spurs can do it, even if I don't. It's Spurs in a final.
Yeah.
But I had this conversation with someone online. I see the pictures of Rice crying when he got knocked out, and I share him just going, "Oh, what a great way to start the day to these pictures, enjoying it, a bit of fun." Some fan was like, basically saying, "Oh, well, how can we laugh at Rice? We're 17th, and he got to a semi-final of a Champions League." And it's like I said, like West Ham. My whole life have been laughing at the misfortunes of teams that are in better positions than us.
Yeah, exactly.
Like Spurs, when they lost the Champions League final and lost it in such just clear-cut fashion, do you think I sat there and was like, we're fucking mid-table, like, what can we say? No, I fucking enjoyed it. You take the wins where you get them, mate.
Exactly. This is it, mate. We're not consistent trophy winners to where we can rub people's noses in it and things like that. So we take the wins where they come, and that's one of the best things. And it's how we enjoy it. It's all about the banter and things like that. And just unfortunately, a lot of people nowadays can't take the banter, and especially Arsenal and Spurs fans, they seem to really struggle with it. They're good at dishing it out, but they're not very good at taking it.
Rice left West Ham to join to win a trophy, right? And you think I'm not going to take great pleasure in him not winning the trophy, in him not achieving what he left us to achieve? Do you think I'm not going to have fun with that? Of course I am. Me laughing at Arsenal isn't me saying we are better. Look how great we are. I know we're shit. I said it. It's been miserable. But that fucking PSG game that I watched, I haven't smiled. I haven't laughed like that in a long time. I was so happy. Whatever people think that says about me, I don't care because I enjoyed it. And despite my season being shit, despite us being 17th in the league with hardly any wins, conceding, I don't care how crap we've been. I'm still going to take pleasure in the teams I dislike failing. Doesn't mean I think we're better. No, but I'm going to enjoy it.
Exactly. It's the whole idea of it, mate. It's the whole idea of it. And it's the thing, it's about...
Listen, if I was homeless, and I see some, I'm like I'm on the street, and, there's someone I'm really not fond of, and he's in a business suit and shit, and I see a lamppost, you know what I mean? I'm laying there on my box outside the shop. This guy in a suit walks into a lamppost. I'm going to laugh.
Of course you are.
He's got a suit. He's got a nice house and a car. I'm on the street. I'm laughing at the geezer walking in a lamppost. I don't care.
Yep.
Just go and go, I can't laugh at him. I'm on the street. No, I'm going to enjoy it where I can. Take the wins.
Exactly, mate. That is exactly it, and that's what you got to do, And as I said, I've got mates who are Arsenal fans, I've got mates who are Spurs fans. It's all part of the banter. We have to put up with it if they give us an iron. They have to put up with it when we turn them over, and this is the thing.
The game.
Yeah, what it's about. It's all part
Millwall fans bloody threw a plane over Upton Park when we got relegated. Yep. They've never achieved anything near what we have in our history. Nope. But I didn't think they were. I thought it was funny. I thought fair play. You know what I mean?
Exactly, mate. Exactly, and that's what it's all about. This is the thing. That is what it's all about. And I really do hope they fail. And to be fair, I know someone's put it there as well. But wouldn't it be great for 4 Nails to win the Conference League?
Do you know what? Was he not in the squad for the semi?
No, he played.
I couldn't see. Has he changed his name?
No, first leg he started. Second leg he come on the sub. And it is Adrian there as well, I think.
Oh, what?
Adrian's there as well, wasn't he?
Is he?
Yeah, sure he's there.
Where the fuck is he playing?
Fornals was on the bench last night.
Is he? Oh, is it Pablo Garcia?
No.
Is he Garcia?
Hold on, mate. Hold on.
I can't see. Oh, Fornals. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He come on. He got. Okay. He come off. He started. My eyes have been.
Yeah, he started on the left wing.
Yeah.
And that Adrian was just the unused sub goalkeeper.
Yeah.
But this thing, the thing is, mate, going back to Rice to go to Arsenal, I said this at the time when he done it, right? It was a big mistake him going there because he's not going to win any trophies there, but it's a good stepping stone for his career. Dan, where you gone, man? You're frozen on me.
Yeah. No, that's it, mate. Sorry, I know internet's acting up a bit. Is it all right now?
But yeah, that's the thing. It's a good stepping stone for him, and
you're all out of sync. You're well out of sync. This is like what film. Yeah, wait. Let me refresh.
Go on, mate. Go on. Oh dear, it's all gone wrong. It's all gone wrong. He's refreshed and he's left me here. But yeah, as I was saying, when you look at it, he's coming back. Here we go.
Yeah.
You're back.
There we go. No, yeah, you're spot on, Scott. And that's what I was trying to say. And now I've forgotten what I was saying. You were spot on too. It's like, Declan Rice leaving. Yeah. The funny thing is, I think it is, he went to Arsenal because he didn't want to leave London. I don't want to leave London. Oh, my mum's here. I don't want to leave it. Oh, all of that. This guy is basically going to not win a major trophy because he's too scared to move to another country. How many elite players, and think of all the best players, imagine they didn't want to leave their hometown. Imagine if the Bergkamps, Henrys, Cantonars, right? You name all the Canio, you name all the great players, right, in the world. Imagine they stayed in their hometown.
Yeah.
And they didn't go on to win, and they just played for their local clubs and decided not to win anything. Imagine Cristiano Ronaldo. Imagine bloody Messi would have been stuck in the Argentinian league playing for them.
I know.
But Rice is like not going to go to the best teams because he doesn't want to leave London. So what if Real Madrid come knocking? If Barca come knocking? No, sorry. I don't want to go outside the M25.
The thing is, the thing you got to give him is he's gone now, and he is improving as a player. And this is the big thing for him. You look at the 2 games semi-final against PSG, 2 games against Madrid. He was by far the best player in that Arsenal side, right? Yeah. And that's what I said. He's beyond them. They've got to start looking at their manager. That their manager is not good enough. They've lost the league twice in a 2-horse race to teams that they should be winning the league. So their time's going to come and go as it has done. I don't think they're going to do much next season, and you got to start poking fingers at the manager. But as I said, it's great to watch. Let's hope Spurs get stuffed in the Europa League final and go on 4-0 for Betis. That's what I say. And
Pellegrini.
Yeah, man,
it's a West Ham final. Enzo Maresca versus Pellegrini, ex-West Ham with Pablo Fornals.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, listen. Let's hope we see the only English teams in that competition. It's there's internet still playing. What's the matter with this internet?
Mate, you come through.
The
thing is, you are right, mate. It'd be great. Still the only team ever to win that competition unbeaten. So that's a big thing.
Yeah. No, this is it. But this year, the Conference League final is between better teams than the Europa League final. 15th and 16th are going to be in the Europa League final. Don't ever say to me that it's not great. It's not the competition. You're playing bums. Like it's 2 bums in the final of the Europa League. 2 bums fighting.
The thing is, as well as the Champions League, they sit there and say about that the quality of the Europa League. Look at the Champions League, Liverpool and Spurs got into the final. 2 teams that hadn't won the league in like 30 years.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it, mate. Do you know
Team
what? I
all
did a
grew up.
stream earlier. It was fine earlier. I was on a live stream earlier at like the peak time, and it was fine. I've got the little people can't see. This is like the little.
Mate, the best thing is you keep freezing on my
It was
screen.
fine
in the
until a
most
certain
random
point, wasn't it?
position.
What's going on? I hope that's not the same for the audience. Right. Let's see. Is it just connection unstable? Unplug your router or move closer to it. Maybe I will connect to my phone. But what I want to talk about next, hopefully anyone can hear me, is
we can hear you.
the players that, you hear me? The players that have been released. So West Ham, and I really hope this is coming through because guys laughing his head off. West Ham announced the release or the non-renewal of the contracts for Aaron Creswell, Lucas Fabianski, Danny Ings, and Vladimir Soufal.
Yep.
4 players. Now, the name that was really conspicuous by its absence on that list was Mikel Antonio. Now, we'll talk about his absence in a second. Scott, talk to me about the 4 names that were on that list. And I see someone saying we shouldn't be letting Ings go, which is a mad thing to say in my opinion. But all 4 of those, I think Soufal and Fabianski also seem to be unpopular ones. But what do you think?
Mate, listen, Danny Ings definitely, he's not really fitted into the system. It was a random signing, and the amount of money that he's on, we can use somewhere else a lot better. So Ings, without foul, I'd let go. He needs to be gone. He's just taking up valuable space in an aging squad as it is. So definitely, Creswell, look, he's been good. He's been a great servant for the football club. He deserves a decent send off, but I think it's his time to move on as well. And also, what you got to think, a bit like Fabianski and Soufal. I think Fabianski would have been good to move as a number 3 and trying to get onto the coaching staff. And Soufal, I like Soufal, but they probably see that they may have another couple of seasons in them and want to go and play football. Fabianski could easily carry on. Maybe at not Premier League level, but he could drop down a bit or move back home or, go into a European club and still get game time there. He's still a decent goalkeeper. Soufal, we know, was on the verge of moving to Fulham. He wants to play. He's come out and said that, I want to play football. And he knows where he is at the moment. He's second choice to Wan-Bissaka. So I can see why he won't want to sign a new contract. Because this is the thing. We're not renewing, but the players might not want to. So, yeah. But I think, to be fair, all 4 of them are good to move on, mate. As I said, I would like to see Fab stay on more of a coaching role, but yeah, it's time to them to go and go from there. And it'd be sad to see him go because they've been good servants for the club, all 3 of them, apart from Danny Ings. Danny Ings just been a waste of space and a waste of money.
Yeah. Apart from one equaliser against Fulham that I can remember him actually, really, Ings making me go mental. I look, all of them, you can look, people say, I keep Creswell, it's sad to see Fabianski, Soufal, like all of them, being great servants for the club, giving a lot to the club. But I think it's time to move on from sentiment, and we can't make decisions based on sentiment. It's sentimentality. Okay, Fabianski and Creswell, they could all still contribute to a degree, but they don't want to be bit part players. Like you said, Creswell a couple of seasons ago tried to move to Wolves because he wanted to play football. Soufal, obviously, he's not been happy about how much he's been on his contract, 35 grand a week, and he wants to play regular football. Fabianski, he's past due. He was supposed to leave last season. I think we give him an extension, and still okay as a number 2, but we need to start to bring in that guy who's a bit younger, who's that understudy to Areola. Now, the Ramsdale stories are ramping up, and I'm not interested. I was talking to an Arsenal fan.
Yeah.
I was Arsenal fan. I was Arsenal fan who always comes and is with us at the fan cams and all of that. Great guy, and he was just telling us how great Ramsdale is. Like Arsenal fans, for some reason, love Ramsdale. Oh, he'd be great for you. It'd be brilliant. Oh, he was great. I don't see it. He is relegated so many teams now, and with West Ham on the verge of relegation, I wouldn't take it. Like, do you want us to get relegated? It's just, I'm sorry. He can make some good camera saves. He's great. He does all the fist bumping and the your shit stuff. He does. Wow, it's great. It's fun, isn't it? Like, he's not what we need. He's not where we should be spending our money. That's not a problem. I'm happy with Areola as first choice at the moment, unless someone's special, unless we get someone really quality that's an upgrade. Sorry, Ramsdale's not an upgrade on Areola. He's not even.
And that's the thing. Is he an upgrade on Fabianski?
No, I don't think so. You know, and I don't know what money he's on, but I imagine he got a bit of a pay rise when he went to Arsenal, and that probably carried on to Southampton.
Be interesting to see who his agent is as well.
Yes,
it
seems like a sorthouse.
You know, the thing is, mate, I look at it this way. You know, we're now at that stage where we are on a rebuild and we need to be improving positions. So it's going to be hard to attract top quality talent. You know, I'm happy with Areola. His distribution lacks sometimes. We've seen this season he's got caught out a few times as he's near post, but he is a decent goalkeeper, and you've got to be looking to upgrade. Ramsdale's not an upgrade on him by any chance. So, you know, this is the thing. You can't be looking at... I didn't like Ramsdale at Arsenal. You could see he was very much, it's all about me, I'm the main man, you know, shifting the blame to other people when he makes a mistake, that type of thing. And as you said, his record speaks.
He's a camera keeper. Yeah. All for the camera.
Yeah, exactly. I think you see that in that Arsenal documentary that he's like that. So this is the thing with him. He's not what we need. And that's the bold and honest truth. He's not what we need.
Yeah, I think we need to have a number 2, but goalkeeper's not a priority position. It's far from it at the moment. Someone said Onana might be on offer. Yeah, no, do you know what? I think that is. I would probably take Ramsdale over Onana.
I'll take Ramsdale over Onana. 100% take Ramsdale over Onana, mate.
He's like Roberto. He gives me flashbacks of Roberto Onana. He really does. And that was it Buendia, that other one? He's just as bad. Yeah. Imagine having 2. Is it not Buendia, is it? That's the guy from Villa. No, what's his name? Is it what's the number 2 at Man United? He's like, honestly, he is horrific. Imagine having 2 goalkeepers that bad. Kelleher from Liverpool. That will be a tough one to get. I think that will be a tough deal to do.
And this is the thing. You're gonna be signing players that, if you're looking at Areola as your number 1, you're gonna be getting a goalkeeper that you need in to push Areola, but they know at the moment they're going to be a cup goalkeeper.
Yeah,
you know, it's what makes it very, very difficult.
Steve WHU Bell, 499 Super Chat, says, don't think Ings will be missed at all. Honestly, if we go for Ramsdale, it just shows how ambitious we are, which is not at all, I think, was what Steve's getting, 100%. And the thing is with Ings, I'm thinking about it now, and look, horrific signing. 18 million pounds, I think it was, we spent on him, and put him on over about 120 grand a week. Horrific deal. However, when I think about it, hindsight, signing Ferguson, I would much rather have just not bothered and just give those minutes to Ings, because I think Ings would have given more. He would have done more coming on the pitch than Ferguson.
Yep.
And then we see it, because it was just, I get it, like Antonio got injured, you know, Füllkrug was injured. We did need that backup, because if you add an Ings and he gets injured, then what you got. But then you've seen it when we're not playing Füllkrug, he's starting like Bowen up top. I would have just rather, I think Ings could have offered more, but it is right that we let him go. I couldn't believe it when someone said we shouldn't be letting. I'm sure. I really pray it was sarcasm, because there's no way you can justify keeping him on those wages. That is mental.
Yeah,
That is
and
absolutely
that is
mental.
exactly it, mate. It is the wages. The wages are just ridiculous. You know, if he was on 50 grand a week, you say, yeah, keep him now. But he's not. You know,
Yeah.
he's on
But the
100
thing
and
is,
what?
even on 50 grand a week, he never plays.
Oh yeah, I know.
Like,
Yeah,
imagine being Sufal and you're sitting there and you're looking at this fucker who barely fucking plays on like what 4 times nearly the what you earn.
yeah, but
No
mate,
wonder, like he's no,
that's why
it's,
Sufal's wages were just a joke. Absolute joke.
yeah,
That geezer's been mugged off by Sullivan and all that. Honestly,
yeah.
you know,
Now listen, average people, listen, we'd fucking snatch your arm off for 35 grand a week. It's
35
all
grand a week.
relative.
That's more than the average yearly wage, mate. That's
Yeah,
mad. But
of
as
course.
a
We're not saying
a
yeah,
footballer that's
it's
won a trophy,
yeah. Listen, it doesn't matter. Like, what if I'm working in any company and I'm thinking, well, I'm getting paid more than X, Y, and Z in average Joe.
yeah,
However, if I'm doing the same job as someone else, but I'm working harder, I'm doing more days than the other fucker, and they're getting paid 4 times than me. I don't care how much more I earn than the average Joe.
yep,
I care about, well, that's not fair because I'm
exactly.
doing more than. Why is he getting paid more than me? And
Yeah.
that is it was such a stupid deal that I will never get over. I'll never fucking believe that we did such a ridiculous, like Villa had to be laughing their asses off because it's not like he pulled up any trees for them.
No,
We
and that,
are terrible, man.
yeah, mate. I tried to work out who laughed harder, Villa or Preston, when we signed Hugo.
Oh yeah, I mean, I remember their fans couldn't believe it, the Preston
Yeah.
fans. And I remember I got called negative and get behind him when I was like, what the hell are we doing? So I hate it. Like, you give an opinion, no, get behind him. Like, we signed someone. Oh, I think he's shit, but I'm gonna say I think it's a brilliant signing just because I'm
Yeah.
getting behind him. Like,
No,
piss off.
listen. You get behind any player who pulls on the shirt and puts a shift in
Of
for West
course,
Ham. That's what we do. But you can still
I've never
criticise
booed
people.
Danny Ings.
Yeah.
I've always cheered him. I've always supported him on the pitch, but I can say what I think. It was a poor
Same,
signing.
mate. Same as Mavropanos. He ain't everyone's cup of tea. People don't like him, but I won't boo
Some
him.
people, the thing is, some people booed him when he come on
Yeah.
in Spurs, and I thought I just didn't agree with that. Like, listen,
No.
he's crap. He's not doing it on purpose. He's not
Yeah.
being crap on purpose. He's trying his best. His best just isn't good enough. So there's no reason to boo the geezer. You know,
Yeah.
that's how I see it. You know, if you don't agree, you don't agree. But yeah, on those names, like I said, the name TSC77. Explain why. Tell us why you booed him when he come on. Like, do you know what? Maybe some people booed more the substitution than
It
him
was
himself.
ridiculous.
I despise Mavropanos. Come on, mate. This is why when someone's shit, don't take it personally. It's not his fault. Blame the guy that signed him. Blame the guy that plays him. That's who you blame. You can't blame a player for being shit. It's not their fault. They don't want to be shit. Believe me, Mavropanos wants to be the best centre back in the world. He would love to be amazing, but he's just not. That's not his fault.
No.
It's just look, I get it. Like, some people boo substitutions more than players, and that's kind of. But it's even that, like, if you're a player coming on, like, would you like expect them to do coming on to a booze? Like, even if you don't think they're good, you want them to do their best, right?
Yeah, of course you do.
You want them to have their best performance, and that it just kills their confidence. So you're going to see the worst of Mavropanos. That's even worse than he is. I don't. That's why I'm against it.
It goes one of two ways, mate. It's on the type of person that he is. You know, some players get booed like that and think, you know what, I'm going to show you what it's all about. You know, I'm going to show you why you shouldn't be booing me. And then, like you said, others are a bit of a shrinking violet, going, "Oh, they don't want me here. Why should I play well?" Or you get so nervous to make a mistake.
It's got to be tough having your own fans boo you. Like 60 fans, like your own fans at home booing you when you're coming on. It's that's gonna knock you. Like, I think it takes a rare sort of person that will go, yeah, fuck you. That's just my opinion. Listen, everyone can have their opinion on the player, and this is when people say get behind. If Mavropanos comes on, if Jordan Hugill comes on, even though I said what the fuck we doing signing him, that's me, right?
Yeah. I'm the same, mate. I'm the same. I might
Yeah.
not agree with it, but he's a West Ham player, and I want to see him do well.
The only time I'll boo is at full time if the performance has been diabolical, and I will let the team know it. And I see some people go after the Spurs game, why are they burying me to Spurs? No, I'm sorry.
We just mate, we Spurs, the worst Spurs side in God knows how long, took 4 points off us this season. That sums it up. Yeah, and the thing is, if we don't get nanked against United on Sunday, you're potentially looking at United, the worst United side in probably 30 years, as you know, potentially could go unbeaten against us. And that's just how embarrassing our season's been. And this is the thing, and this is what
we had right to voice our displeasure at the end because look, again, it's been over 2 months, no win. I think you've got to let the players, and that's what I said. When you're singling out individual players, that's where you can really, I think, really kill a player, right? When you're let them know as a collective, this ain't good enough, step up. Then you expect the players. Then the team needs to.
Sorry, I do apologise. We did beat Man United, didn't we?
You know what? I can't remember
there for that as well. Yeah,
was I there?
Yeah, you was there. We was there for that.
I do not remember that game at all.
Yep.
I can't tell you who scored. I can't tell you. I don't remember what month it was. That's mental.
What month it was, but we did.
That's what this season. I can't tell you if it was January. I can't tell you if it was August. So Bowen late penalty winner.
There you go.
I don't remember. That's how bad this season has been.
I remember now, Dan. They absolutely battered us in the first half and couldn't score. Remember, I think was it that who was the right back? He went through an open goal and blasted it wide.
Masra. Oh, yes.
Yes, you remember that?
Yeah, it was one of the worst. I remember it now. One of the worst misses ever.
Yeah.
Yes. That's it. And I was like, was it Dallo or was it
Dallo?
Yeah. Honestly, he was horrific that game.
That was it. Then Ten Hag got the sack afterwards.
Ings died for the pen. No, yeah, because Ings come on and like immediately won a pen. I don't think he died personally. Yes, I remember it now. But that's how like this season has just been a blur. If we do an end of season quiz, mate, I'm coming last. Like this season's been a blur for me. Absolutely horrendous.
I think it's been so bad, mate.
Oh, that was it. 10 Hogs. Yeah. 10 Hog's last game. That's it. Yes. Oh, it's all coming back to me now. It's all coming back. Oh, fuck that up. You know the song. Who sings it? If you touch me like this, then you did it. It's not Celine Dion, is it? It's it's all coming back to me.
Celine Dion,
is it Celine Dion? Might be Celine Dion, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it's got to be in it.
You're coming out with some random stuff tonight, mate.
Well, listen, it's a reference because it's all coming back to me. So Celine Dion, yes. Meatloaf. Now you're thinking of the female part in what do you call it? In the Meatloaf, where she's like, I can't, I'll do anything for love. Celine Dion. You see, you just don't know where we're going to go on this channel.
No, this is one thing. It's very random, mate. Very random.
Very random tonight. So the name that was left off of that list.
Stick to the whiskey, man. Stick to the whiskies.
It's a whiskey. Yeah. No, Jonas is 0%.
You can't even blame that, mate. That's the thing.
Oh, I know. I've got pissed on 0%. The names that were left off that list, the name that was left off is Mikel Antonio. Very interesting. My thoughts are, because obviously he's out of contract at the end of the season. And the reason why I believe his name has been left off the list and they haven't made a decision yet, because they want to see if he comes back, how he comes back before they offer him another deal. I think they would like him to play a game again. They would like to see him pull on that shirt at least one more time. But I think they don't want to make a decision on him. They want to see what they've got and see what he can contribute. You know, people might not think he's a legend. If he's not a legend, he's a step down from legend. He's our all-time record Premier League goal scorer. So, you know, again, it's sentiment because he's on over 100 grand a week.
Yeah.
But he's, you know, had a horrific car accident. It's, you know, special circumstances. It's different situation. So I'm happy with them taking their time on it. So long as they, I know, and Scott, you know, you come in the set because you know, you was talking in the group chat and you gave your opinion, but take their time on it. You know, see if you can give him another game, then make the best decision for the club. If he can still contribute off the bench or something, we will see. What do you think, Scott?
Not at the wages he's on, mate. Listen, I want to see Antonio pull on that shirt again and give him a send off because he deserves it. Because, like, you know, record Premier League goal scorer. He's, you know, we've relied heavily on him season after season, and at times when we've needed him to step up, he stepped up. But you can't sentiment. You know, we've come unstuck with sentiment, and this is the thing. I see what you're saying, mate, and I think it is the right thing for the club not to announce it now, but to keep him on 100+ grand a week as a squad player, or potentially a player that couldn't recover fully from the injury that he's had, is just madness. Absolutely madness. Look, if you want to keep him on a pay as you play. So there's an emphasis for him to get fit, for him to play games. You know, but 100+ K a week. Nah, we need that money elsewhere.
Yeah,
and that's the thing for me.
We're not a charity. As much as we act like we're a charity with how much we give players to do fuck all, we aren't actually a charity.
Yeah. The thing is, mate, take the crash off the table, right? And we're sitting here now. Would you be sitting there saying Antonio deserves another contract?
No. It's pure sentiment.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
I've got nothing against the guy. You know, he, as I said, I've said all there what the things he's done for us now, however we've relied on him. But this club won't progress forward if we keep doing stuff like that and keep giving players that are not worthy of that amount of money because of their age and all that. You know, they're not playing. He's not going to play every week. You can't have someone not playing every week on 100K plus a year. It's just madness. So pay as you play, absolutely fine. Other than that, I'm sorry, Mickey, but great servant, best player I've ever seen in the West Ham shirt. But it's time you went.
If I can't see Antonio taking the pay as you play unless he, you know, feels like he's got unfinished business. Because why would you? Like, there's no guarantee you could play. You might go 4 or 5 months with earning while earning nothing. You could pick up another injury. You're earning nothing. Whereas he could go to, he's much better off taking a reduced contract.
Yeah, but I'll get what you're saying. A reduced contract, that's fine. You know, give him Soufal's wages.
When we always talk about pay as you plays, right? I can't name you one pay as you play deal. I can't name you a player that has been on. It's obviously happened because we all talk about it. It's obviously there's a precedent for it, but. We've never done it that to my knowledge that I can recall. When has there ever been a play as you play?
No, I know there has been one, but I can't think of who it was.
If someone's saying in the chat, there's got to have to have been one, but if it has happened, it's very, very rare. And I don't think there's a single player today in the top league that is, like I said, who fuck knows about all the lower leagues in Italy or whatever the fuck, right? I don't know a single player that's on that play as you play, pay as you play. So Carroll on it he was never on it at West Ham. I know I think he's just on really low wages and he's French League second division.
He's on £3,000 a month, £3,000 a week there or something like that.
Yeah. So there's a guarantee. I think how you do it is you have a basic wage. Right. Yeah. So you say to Antonio, okay, we'll put you on 30 odd grand a week with bonuses, right? Bonuses of if you play, it goes up to 50 grand a week. Yeah. You know, if you score a goal that week, you know, maybe it goes up to You know, it's a 20 grand for this week or so, or a 10 grand on top.
Yeah.
Like, so there's performance related bonuses. So here's a minimum basic wage.
Yeah,
And bonuses. That makes
but the
sense.
thing is, Dan, that's what all footballers should be on. This is the thing, you know, and this is why part of me hopes that eventually this big bubble of football players earning shed loads of money for doing absolutely nothing really apart from kicking a piece of leather about and keeping themselves in good condition.
Could you imagine these shit performances we've seen, Scott, if they was on performance related pay?
And this is the thing.
More of a shift we'd see.
This is exactly it. You know, the emphasis has got to be there for the players to perform, and that's how it should be.
It's interesting. Saha for Everton, was he on a pay as you play? Good. If so, good shout, Kaz.
Yeah. But and that's what I'm saying, mate. Sentiment's got to stop at this football club. You know, when hindsight's a wonderful thing. If you look at Moyes, if we got rid of Moyes after winning the Conference League, things might have been different.
Yeah.
You know.
So Louis Saha signed for Everton in 2008, signing a 2-year. That's how long ago this was. 2-year pay-as-you-play deal after injury problems at Man United. He enjoyed 4 years at Goodison, making 115 appearances and scoring a respectable 34 league goals. So he got paid over 4 years for 115 appearances. So I don't know what that was. But no, great shout, Kaz. Great shout. But that's it. Yes, but that shows you that's how rare it is. Yeah. But you're right, Scott. Like
it can work because it puts the emphasis on the player then to get fit and to perform at the top quality. And this is what you need to see. You need to see this. You know, football needs to kicking down a few pegs because as I said at the start, mate, the separation between modern day football and regular fans is the biggest gulf that I've ever seen, and it's killing the game.
I would never advocate for a player to be on a pay-as-you-play where if they don't play they earn zero, because to me that's tantamount to a 0 hours contract, which I'm massively against. Where it's like, look, we don't need you. You're not going to work. We're not going to pay you. You've got no security or anything. I think, like I said, basic wage with performances, offering that. No, because the thing is, here's the thing. If we say goodbye, Antonio, there is no club in the world, right? And people can say, oh, Saudi don't just sign everyone and stick them on mega money. The people that think Saudi, there's no club that will pay.
They would have signed Zuma. Let's be honest. They didn't sign Zuma, remember? He's on loan.
Yeah. He's on loan. Exactly. That's a great point. People, whenever I say this and I go, there's no club that's going to pay Antonio 100 grand a week, and they go, oh, Saudi would. No, because they could why don't they sign every single free agent? Why don't they sign Ings? They don't just sign anyone and pay him silly money, right? They're not going to sign Michail Antonio. He would maybe want to go there. I think he was linked with a move there, wasn't he? A couple of seasons ago. He was linked. They're not gonna. It's not gonna happen. There's no club in the world that's gonna pay him what we currently pay him. No. So there's no reason for West Ham to offer him a new deal on what we currently pay him, because no one's competing for his signature. He's not going to have a queue of clubs lining out to fight us for him. So let's go and give him a basic wage with some bonuses and say, listen, we'll see that out for like a year, even maybe 2 years on that low wage, and go, boom, send off, see how you do. Yeah. And then that's up to him. He gets to have his proper send off. But if he's still fit enough to play after his injury.
Like, the thing is, even if he's not, you know, if he recovers enough that he can kick a ball, he deserves to come off in the 90th minute or 91st minute of a game, you know, and just get that send off. You know, because as I said, love him or hate him, he's done a lot for the club.
Yeah, I don't see why anyone could hate him.
No. You know, and that's just, you know, that's just for me. You know, I don't think he should be given a new contract. Really don't.
Yeah, don't disagree. Like I said, it's got to be the right deal, and he's got to, you know, come about. So what about insurance? I wonder. Surely Antonio. Yeah, I mean Antonio's covered, but I mean he's covered probably for his car. I don't know if he's got insurance like on his career, like if he never plays again, he injures himself. I don't know any details about that. So yeah, like you said, no one's going to want to sign him. He's 36 this year. Yeah, look, he should, if he wants to continue playing football, he should either retire or should take what he's given. That's the options. Yeah, just some quick points. It's being speculated that Paqueta has played his last game of the season for West Ham. Apparently, the club are going to take him out the firing line. His head's not in the right place. He cried at the Spurs game after he got a yellow card. His wife put up some crazy long post.
Yeah.
And it's been rumoured that the club are now not going to play him for the rest of the season so he can just focus on this case. And it's a shame, but maybe it's for the best, because if his head's not in it, then, you know what I mean, take him out of the firing line and put someone on the pitch that is going to be focused and give their all, you know.
And that's the thing. The thing is, mate, is that, listen, I criticise the amount of money these guys earn. At the end of the day, they are human beings. And, you know, we all go through stressful periods in life. You know, it's a lot. I always look at it, if you've got a bag of riches, your stresses are not the stresses of people who haven't got that bag of riches to fall back on. Do you know what I mean? But everybody suffers mental health wise, everybody suffers thingy, and he's going through a lot. You know, he's going through a lot, and that's the thing. And there's a lot of pressure on him because of this. Plus, he's probably technically one of the best players that we've got on the ball.
Yeah.
You know, people are sitting there, and you know the quality of the player. You're expecting more from him, and he ain't performing. So sometimes you've got to look after the player. And I think if it is, the club are doing the right thing, taking him out of the situation at the minute, because the way this has all been handled by the FA is a disgrace. You know, this they should have just done their due diligence, got it all sorted and done. You know, for the length of time they've been investigating it, for me, I don't feel there's that much evidence to say that he's definitely guilty. And, you know, it's, again, the FA are just scared if they lose this one, it's all going to come crumbling down around them. You know, you've got the Premier League on the verge of coming crumbling down with the Man City stuff, especially the way that they've treated Everton and dealt with Everton very quickly. Forest as well. You know, they've pulled these teams up already, but this case with Man City is taking long. Mate, I really do think that there's going to be, if City get away with it, there's going to be a big power shift away from the Premier League, and the FA are going to be, you know, in a right to an 8 if they're found that they've just wasted the amount of money they've wasted on victimising a player.
Yeah, good. So listen, there's a chance that Paqueta will never play for us again now, and I hope that's not the case. But like I said, I mean, the last 3 games, I want to beat Man United just so we finish above them. I couldn't really catch. Want to get to the end of the season. Red 5 says, I know it's wrong, but you can't cry in a derby. That's like some unwritten rule I haven't heard about. I like it. I think Martin Noble cried against Spurs. I think when we got relegated or something, didn't he? Many moons ago, I think he cried. But yeah, I see it. We want fucking blood and thunder, no tears, just pure anger. And I mean, derbies are just, oh my God, that was the flattest. You can't even call that a derby. It was 2 crap teams who just didn't give a shit.
That was, mate, that's the worst London derby. That's the worst West Ham Tottenham game I've seen for a long time.
Yeah, 100%. I can't be like, even ones where we've been battered. I don't think that was what.
Yeah.
Like when I saw the 4-1 earlier in the season at their ground was a better game.
Yeah.
Overall, it was a better derby. That was just tepid and weak and pathetic. Yeah. So, mate, like I said, good luck to him. There was another thing I wanted to talk about. Wan-Bissaka has declared for the Congo. He is no longer going to be eligible for England. He's been called up. He's made the decision to switch from England to Congo. Was not getting the opportunities for the England side, which is crazy. You know, I felt he should have been this season. The performances he's been given. Yes, okay, there's some stiff competition at right back. Trent can play in the midfield. Let's not forget that.
Yep.
He, I think, should have been given an opportunity to play for England. But now he's playing for Congo. And, he joins a great company, Masuaku, who we've had quite a few. I think Ilunga was one.
Yeah.
We've had a few. There was
The thing is, mate, I'm making right. You know, he's obviously looked at the situation with England and the right backs that are available. He's probably had a really, for me, he's our player of the year. He's had a decent season, and he's still not got anywhere near the England squad. And
shout out on Bongo, by the way, and I had that in years.
I think it's the right decision for him. At the end of the day, you want to play international football. For me, it's the peak of your career representing your country. If he's got allegiances to Congo as well as England, go for it. Congo are benefiting from getting a very, very good player. The only thing that worries me is when's the next AFCON?
That was the big thing for me. Listen, happy for him. Good on him. Gets to play in AFCON. Gets to potentially try and qualify for World Cup. But AFCON is disruptive. And that is a real player that will be missed when he's not played, which is now why we need to get that backup, that other right back, the Soufal replacement. We got to get that spot on now because he's going to the Congo, which means we need to get someone who's, and this I sound like, what's his name? African Mayhem fucking guy. Don't try no more Africans because they cause mayhem. No, well, for that position, we need to sign someone that's not eligible to play in the AFCON because that would be stupid. Because then we would have his backup going to AFCON.
And this is the tricky thing as well, mate, is that you're going to be signing a player in a position where he knows he's going to be playing second fiddle. And this is the big issue. Is literally he's just going to be playing second fiddle for Wan-Bissaka. So it's going to be hard to attract a decent quality player.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Only 11 likes. For shame on all of you. For shame.
It's gone down. It was 19 earlier.
How could you unlike people? You know what? I'm not happy with this. I'm unliking. I'm taking my like away. Giving my like back. What? Shame on yourselves. But yeah, he joins us. I've just found it. Dean Garner. I didn't know he played for Congo. Maybe afterwards he declared. And he switched allegiances. Masuaku, obviously. Ilunga, like I said. Mpanzu. And Ngakia. Who is he not? Does he not play for a club now? Like,
I think he's still at Watford, isn't he?
I don't. According to this, he's not like linked to Ngakia. Oh, he is still at. I don't know why they didn't have that up. Oh, 79 likes. I'm seeing. All right, I'll call you. Oh, he meant 11 likes to go. Only 11 likes. Like more like 400. I apologize, chat. Please accept my most humble apologies.
Disgraceful, Lawless. Disgraceful.
Still, 11 more. Maybe they will take their likes away now. You said it was on bloody 19, Scott.
Well, it was earlier. Unless it was 19 to go, and I misread it. Mate, I'm ill. I've got an excuse.
21 to go. Richie's maths was way off there. He's unless he wants us to get to 90 at 19, and that's 90. But yeah, so fair play to him. Fair play to Wan-Bissaka, but got to get that cover sorted, and we got to get that. Oh, Sunderland have just gone 1-0 up against Coventry.
The recruitment's got to be bang on point, mate, going into this, and this is now like as I said, it's a big season next season now. This is the proper rebuild. Yeah,
100%, mate. But yeah, so that's going to be that this playoffs is actually going to be interesting. But Bristol, they shot themselves in the foot.
Oh, they got trounced, didn't they?
I think Earthy played. Is it Earthy that's he's at Bristol?
Yeah, Bristol City. Yeah.
And he came on. He was on the bench, but this fucking Dickey was a dick and got himself sent off, gave away a penalty, and then they lost 3-0 to shitty Sheffield United. He's basically the reason why Bristol aren't going to the final. This one player, and he's fucked it up for Earthy.
Hey, the second leg's there, mate, but the chances of them getting there is going to be very, very tricky.
Yeah, very, very tricky. Millwall missed a penalty. Oh, Millwall is in the play. When someone said Millwall was playing,
They're not
I
playing.
thought he meant the team. I think he's talking about a player. Oh, they've equalised. Coventry's equalised 1-1. Big Fat Frank's not angry anymore. And this is that. Who do you want to see come up? I would like to see Coventry get promoted.
Yeah, I don't want Sheffield United, to be honest. Can't stand that club. Don't want them. I'd like to see someone different. I would have liked to see Bristol come up because they've not been there before. It would have been good to see someone different. Coventry been, through their fans have been through a bit of hell with everything that's gone on with the like losing their stadium, all that type of stuff. Sunderland is not a bad side, but I'd rather, if it ain't Bristol City, I'm going to say Coventry.
Yeah, Coventry. Like ultimately anyone but Sheffield United, but
yeah,
I'm pulling for Coventry or Bristol City for sure. But I've written off Bristol City because I just don't free, and that I think that was their home game as well.
Yeah, that's
right. Idiot. Right. Like that Dickey, mate. They need to. So the rest of the players, you give them a kicking. Yeah, but this is the thing. Sheffield United, if they come up, they'll be favourites to go straight back down.
Yep.
Give a like if you enjoyed the season. Are you trying to prevent us from getting likes, Fortune, riding down on the team? Are you trying to stop us? People are going to be taking their likes away. Give a like if you did not enjoy the season. Record broken.
£60
Speaking of, with all this talk, I forgot we actually have a game tomorrow.
Yeah, no, Sunday, Manchester United away.
Yeah. Oh, it's Sunday. Man United away. Scott, mate, if we do not beat Man United at Old Trafford now, we are never, ever going to beat them, right? It's never going to happen because, my God, Scott, they are bad. Not only are they bad, but they have their eyes on a cup final now.
Yeah.
We have nothing else. Like, if we cannot go there and put in a performance and actually get it over the line, mate, I don't know what to say. We have to go there and win.
This is the thing, mate. That final was on the 21st of May. So they're looking. They've got what? How many days to prep for that? What is it today? The 9th. I should fucking know that, shouldn't I? It's because birthday.
Well,
they're looking. They've got from that game on Sunday. What they've got 10 days.
10 days, yes. That's not
10 days. Yeah. My head's as a player. My head's on that game in 10 days' time. And this is the thing. They'll have to rotate. They can't afford Man United can't afford not to win the Europa League. That's how I look at it.
Their season, their future is on this because not only is it not just about the trophy, this is their chance to get Champions League qualification.
Yeah.
This is huge for them, and they do not want to be the team that lost to Tottenham Hotspur in a cup final. You do not want that distinction. That would be, you'd never live that down. No. You'd always be the team. Who did Tottenham fucking beat to win their first trophy in donkey's years? Oh, Manchester United.
Yeah.
That's embarrassing. The pressure is huge.
And that's it, mate. But the thing you have to really look at as well, though, is you've got players that are going to be fringe players who are going to be pushing to have an opportunity to get into that final team. And they're going to show up. And this is the thing, your top players are going to be sitting there going, oh, I don't want to get injured, but they've still got the quality that they can play at half pace to and still cause problems, like Bruno Fernandes. Quality player. Even at half pace, the way we've been playing, he can still cause us a lot of problems. So you've got the flip side. You're going to have players, they may sit and play youth team players who are looking to prove themselves in the Premier League. And we could come unstuck. We've just got to focus on what we've got to do. We've beaten them once already this season. We need a lift. we've got potentially a chance to finish above them, and we've got to take that. We've got to take that. We've not seen enough fight from these players in a long time.
That's the only way we come unstuck, Scott. If we don't put an effort in, if we don't try, it's the way we come unstuck. And the thing is, go on.
Go on. No, I was going to say what pisses you off though, Dan, is like we said the other week before the Spurs game against Arsenal, we saw the fight, and we've not seen it since.
No, we haven't. And this is the thing, like, and this is what pissed me off with the Spurs game, because it was the same. They had a semi-final, second leg to worry about. And we did not make the game physical enough. We did not give them something to worry about and put the thought of, shit, I could get injured here. Like, I need to pull out challenges. I need to protect myself. I need to, and start putting that fear in their head. And that's what we need to do in this game. That's why we've got to make it a physical game. And one thing I'll say is, if they see this as a big game, it's Man United, they may bother turning up. They may bother putting an effort in because it's a big club. But they did it at Anfield. They did it at Emirates.
Yep.
They've got to.
That ain't their last 8 games, surely.
Lost, draw. Is it? Is it that consistent? Is it lost, draw? Let me see. He's right. Lost, draw. So we're due for a loss then. Can we break the cycle? Please just give us one W. Please. Get us to 40 points, for fuck's sake. Like, we can just do that. I think if we win this game and we beat Ipswich, we finish it.
Sorry. That's mental.
It's lost. Yeah, that's horrific. That is really consistently shit. The
thing is, any other season, this form we're on is relegation form.
Yeah, 100%. We would be.
This is the type of form that Sheffield United got relegated on because they couldn't win one game in their last 10 fixtures.
Yeah, we are.
And then we had to pay them 23 million for them being shit.
Yeah, this is relegation form, 100%, mate.
Yeah. And we've to be fair, mate. I know it goes back to what we were saying last week, but it's why you can't sit there and with these players who are asking a question about the manager, you can see where they're coming from because it's not good.
No, like there should be pressure. Like, listen, I've said what I think. I will give him a transfer window and then see where we are. If this continues after a transfer window and a preseason, then I'll be on that bandwagon. But right now, and like I said, he has to find a way. Yeah. He has to come up with something and to look and say, why? What's the issues? Like, I don't think we have the tools within this squad to be good. I think that's the challenge. I looked at the bench on Spurs when we was there, and I was just thought, what the fuck is on the bench? But that's where you just look to players and you have to drop some players that aren't putting the shift and say, right, Guilherme, do you know what? I'm just going to put you on, mate, because this geezer don't deserve to play. And Alvarez, apparently we might not see him again either, and so he's out of the equation, and we've got injuries.
And that's the thing, mate. You've got to start doing that. You've got to start looking. If the youth are in your plans next season, it's not going to get any worse by giving a youngster a game. I know you don't really want to put youngsters in sometimes against when a team's performing badly, but sometimes you need to. Ollie Scar's coming. He's been a breath of fresh air this season. Having the opportunities that he's had. So we've got to be looking at players like Orford and stuff to give them a go. Not all of them all in one go. Not a Sam Allardyce chuck them all under the bus just to try and prove a point that you're right and everyone else is wrong. But bring them in and embed them in with a strong-ish 11. And give them that opportunity.
Yeah, 100%, mate. Like, he's got to do something. And just so we can see you're trying something different. But,
mate, if it works, you're going to be a genius, aren't you?
100%. Yeah. The thing is, I've just lost all faith in a lot of these players. To me, it comes down to Bowen and Wan-Bissaka. What can them two do? Our right-hand side. If anyone's going to do anything, it's going to be them two.
Yep.
Owen, where we'd be without him, I don't know. So we have to hope that he can get enough goals to get us the win, because he pops up in key moments, but he can't do it all on his own. The rest of the team have to chip in with goals, and Paqueta's obviously not going to play, which means like, okay, maybe this is a chance for Guilherme to get some game. Like, I don't know what he's going to do with the team. I have no expectations on this starting 11.
Yeah, same, mate. Same, and this is the thing. It's so hard to really predict what we're going to see. Yeah, it really is. You know, it is that situation where a lot of us fans just want the season to end.
Yeah, man, that's it, mate. It's just this. I'm watching this game and just having a hope based on nothing that we can just finally see a win. Like, we've got to see at least one win before this season ends, please, West Ham. I can't take it any longer.
No.
And no conceding stupid goals. That defense has to wake the fuck up, honestly. Like, that Spurs goal we conceded was pathetic.
Yeah.
The defending for that, everyone following the ball.
It was like watching a bunch of school kids play football.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Like I said, the defenders. It's so weird because I don't think Potter gets enough credit for what he's actually been able to do with the defense, because clearly we have an incompetent defense. Because this defense is so bad that they were conceding 4s and 5s on a regular basis under Lopetegui.
Yep.
And he's come in, we're still conceding stupid goals, but just less of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
and that's the only positive you can take from this Potter reign so far is we have come a bit harder to beat. You know, because we went back to the days of getting trounced by anyone who was half decent. You know, luckily enough, we haven't been battered by a Fulham like we did under Moyes and things like that. But, you know, we were still conceding a lot of goals to the better sides. And, you know, we're fed up with seeing that. Yeah. You know, we're fed up with being that type of side. I want to see us now competing, and we do compete, but we're just crap.
Yeah, 100%, mate. So yeah, we'll see what team. Like I said, I don't know what team Man United's going to put out. I don't know what team we're going to put out. But best believe they've not got their full attention on this game. We need to put everything on this game. That's what I want to see. I want to see us pressing. I just want to see the shift we put in at Arsenal. I want to see us trying to win the ball back early, putting in tackles, moving the ball quickly. That's what I want to see. Yeah. So, yeah, it's I just want to see something interesting. You know what? It was so actually interesting to see. We've been saying this for a while now, that in general, you know, I know I've definitely been saying this for months and months this season, that it's not just West Ham that's getting boring. It's modern football that's boring, right? The way teams play now. And it was so refreshing to hear someone like Thierry Henry basically back that up. You know, he was talking about the Barcelona-Milan game, and he was like, I've been so bored watching football. And then you have a game like that. Like, that's why we love football. That's exactly what we want to see. Two teams going at it, trying to win the game. Yeah. And to see, you know, a great like that say, yeah, I've been like, it's his job. Like, this is the guy that lives, breathes the sport more than anyone. He's not just he sees the game on a deeper level, and he's been bored watching the Premier League.
Yeah, and that's the thing, mate. I think it's become stale because everybody copies Guardiola. If you're not copying Guardiola, you're sticking 11 men behind the ball and trying to stop the other team playing. You know, and it's just the Premier League.
Guardiola or Aladiciola, either one. Either copy one or the other.
That is exactly it, mate. And that's the thing. It's just killed the game. And this is what I was saying the other week. You've got to sit there and just go, well, we're not going to play like that shit. We're going to do this. You know, teams like City, teams like Barcelona with the quality players that they got, they can play the ball from the back, ping the ball left, right, and centre because they've got quality players. We've not got them quality players. Other teams in the Premier League not got it. And then you start seeing it dropping down the leagues. You got centre halves playing in League Two who are being asked to play the ball out of the back that just can about kick the ball 5 yards forward in a straight line. It's a joke, mate.
This is why it's the difference between go on, Scott.
It's just killing football. It's killing football.
That's what I'm saying. So you take West Ham and you take Man City, right? Both look to play the same way, build up from the back, pass, goal. The difference is, like you said, Scott, they've got the quality. So those passes are quick and decisive. They move the ball with purpose, right? Yep. They move. So players are moving off the ball, trying to get in positions, making runs, and they're pinging the ball. Bang, 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 bang.
Yep.
When you see a team like West Ham and most other teams that try to play that, we're passing the ball out from the back. No one's making the movements. No one's making quick, decisive passes. So we go,
what do we do?
Pass
backwards.
And then that's what you see.
The prime example of the way that if you're going to play out from the back, the way to play football, go and watch Argentina, Brazil, the last time them two played, and see one of Argentina's goals that come from the back. The passing, the movement, the triangles, and it was just boom, 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 boom. And that's how it's got to be. You can't have this player to a player, one touch, stop the ball, move the ball, and all that. Doesn't work. It's got to be 1, 2, 3. It's got to be 1, 2 touch football.
It's so easy to if you're a defense, right, and you see like those teams like Argentina, right, and you're seeing the ball over here, now it's over here, and then it's moving. You're like, okay, shit, okay, where are we going? Oh, and you're dragging team players out of position because you're switching it up. You're going from left, you're going to right.
Yep.
Whereas we're moving the ball so slowly, it's so predictable and easy to defend against. Teams see us coming a mile away.
Yeah. Dan, you look when we played well under Moyes. Yeah, in the games, the counter-attacking games we played, how quickly on the counter-attack we moved the ball. 1, 2, 3 passes through and goal. Yeah. You see it with teams we've played this season. I think it was Brentford we played. They mixed it up. They played it about and then went direct.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And was it the Chelsea game where they just played the ball through the middle, just threw one ball through the middle, and it was away in the goal. And this is what annoys us. Sometimes we overcomplicate things because we don't make them runs. And you sit there, and especially with us, we're so predictable of what we're going to do. So predictable. If we ain't got full crew in the box, right, the ball's going to go out wide left. It's going to come back over, go wide right. And if they ain't going to cross it, it's going to go back over wide left. And then they'll eventually cross it. But by that time, the defence is set.
Yeah. The thing is, it's a mindset, I think, in the Premier League as well. Because even Man City have been very boring at times. I remember Dom, actually, years ago when a fan cam got slated. And Man City themselves, official Man City account, actually clicked up when he said Man City are boring, right?
Yeah.
But in a lot of times, like this season, the Manchester United Man City game, 2 teams going on it, celebrating a draw. Yes, like at the end of it. Because so many games now, managers' first priority is don't lose.
Don't get beat. Yeah.
Don't get beat. They're not going out there with the intention of, fuck it, let's go at them. Let's try to win this game. It's shit. Don't concede. Be patient. And that's the problem. And back in the days, football, the 2000s, the 90s, 80s, whatever, teams were the objective, score. Get the ball up the pitch quick as possible, bang, and you had end-to-end game.
I honestly think teams are better then. Teams are better then. Football was better then. The Premier League, when it come about, was a great league. It was brilliant. It's fallen off a cliff lately.
Players had creative. They had imagination. They tried things, and maybe it don't come off, but they tried something, and then we go again. Players are so scared to take any risks, and that's what it goes back to the Soler. Oh shit! What if I miss? Pass backwards.
Pass backwards. Yeah, it's robotic, mate. That's the thing. It's just robotic, and that's the worry, And as I said, it was nice to see that Barcelona Inter game, both legs, the way they were.
Yeah,
it's entertaining football. It's what you watch football for.
Let's go and just score as many goals. Let's keep going, score. Like, and that's the problem. Whereas, you'd think, shit, we're 1-0 up in the final, right? Sit back, sit deep, protect the one goal. And
the only time you should be doing that is when you're down to 10 men. You set up your defensive banks, and because you've got that player less, and you try and catch them out. The fact that we're still seeing we defend set pieces with 11 men in our box. So and that's the worry. We keep 11. We don't have an outlet. We don't have any outlet up there, and that's the thing. We were conceding goals before with 11 men in the box. We've had 11 men in the box for the past God knows how many seasons. We need an outlet. Mix it up a bit, because I'm still seeing the same shitty kickoff that we do every week, and I'm still seeing the same crappy defending we do every week. The thing is just not, 11 men in the box didn't work under certain managers. Why is it going to be any different? Why are we still thinking with that?
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's it. That's what it is. So, like I said, it was refreshing to hear a pundit like Henri say it, because I was like, finally, someone in the media have said what we're all thinking. It's boring as shit in the Premier League. We cannot stand it.
Graham sent me a video the other day of, I think it was the Milan derby, and the players on that pitch, Ronaldinho, Beckham, and all them, like them types of players, the quality in I think Ibrahimovic was playing for Inter Milan. The quality that was there that you saw in these two teams, you don't see that anymore.
No, that's it. That's it. Like the players, and this is the thing. You don't have them mavericks, them geniuses, them in football. You have players that are like the star player. Okay, here's a Palmer, here's a Foden. They are not. So many players have to be system players. And again, another Pep thing, which is like kind of destroyed Grealish, because Grealish was a bit more of a flair, inventive player, and then he gets destroyed there because now everyone wants a system player.
Yeah. The thing is, mate, when you sit there and look at football, I don't watch a lot of European football, right? But my mate was watching. I was watching bits and pieces and the highlights of the Barcelona Inter game, and the breath of fresh air in football at the moment is the young Spanish lad who plays for Barcelona.
Oh, Lamau.
Yeah, I think so. It's something different. Something we've not seen for a while, and you can see that kid's got the world at his feet, and he's could be. You look at the Ronaldo and Messi for far too long have been the best players in football. I think now no one in football at the moment that I watch and that I've seen is anywhere near as good as them two were. I don't think there's as many world-class players as there used to be.
Mate, if you went to the 90s and 2000, you reel off the fucking names of just icons and genius footballers that was so exciting to watch. Like, and that's the thing. And again, I don't think it comes down to the players. I think it comes down to the football. It's the teams, it's the managers, it's the infrastructure.
Individual player wise, who are you excited to watch in the Premier League as a player? What player do you think are you sitting there thinking, oh, do you know what? He's great. Do you know what I mean? Like, for me, when he was at City, David Silva, great player. Used to love watching him play football. Right? Name a player now in the Premier League that you can sit there and say, top quality player. Love watching the way he plays football. Take the West Ham hat off as a football fan.
Yeah. You had like Hazard at Chelsea, players like that. But like I said, now there's people can sit there and they'll name good players, like really good. Oh, he's good, but no one I enjoy watching. No one I can say like Salah is great. But I can't say I watch Salah and I go, wow, yeah, like that gets me off the edge of my seat. He's good, really. He's a world-class player. Not excited. Jeremy Doku, says Paul. Well, listen, I mean, yeah, he has flag, but he's no genius and he don't play often enough. But yeah, there's none of those exciting players, is there? And because no one can be an individual, no one can stand out. Everyone has to fit into a system. JWP, piss off. JW. That's like the opposite. Like Payet for us, I mean, my God, that was a definition. Like, what a joy to watch him.
Yeah.
Kvaratskhelia, yeah. Listen, PSG have been great to watch, and that's another team where you see them, and they're trying to get the ball down the other end of the pitch as quick as possible.
And what's the one thing they ain't got? A bunch of superstars.
Yeah. I mean, they got rid of all their superstars, didn't they? They had a team of superstars, and it's kind of worked out for them.
Yeah.
But it's just those players that, like Payet. Imagine Payet, putting Payet in like today's Premier League. Imagine Payet being in Man City. It would just stifle him. The guy, like they said, Martin always said, I don't want you tracking back. Don't bother tracking back. Like, we'll clean up all the shit. You stay up. You do what you have to do. And players can't do that anymore.
Yeah. You know, you see in there the comments going through. Eze, great. He's good, very, very good player. Clive at Bournemouth been absolutely brilliant this season, but they're not world class. They're not,
and they're not. Yeah, they're not entertainers on the ball. They're not players that you go like. They may score a great goal, but when they're on the ball, and you're like, "Whoa, God!" Like you're on the edge, you think like, "Wow."
The first half of the season, you could probably say Cole Palmer was like that. But
last season to a degree, but we don't really see any individual geniuses and just exciting players, and I think that's down to football. It's Pep and everyone wanting to be Pep, and it's a shame. And I can't wait until, like I say, I can't wait. I don't know if it happened, but one day it changes and the trend changes and it goes back to.
We need another Arsene Wenger to come into to the Premier League. You had that Ferguson era, and Manchester United were that good, and then you had different managers coming in, but Wenger then changed football in a way, the way he had Arsenal playing and all that, and it was better for the Premier League because that was the entertaining, the Man United, Arsenal, and then the Chelsea sort of that era of them three sides when they were all going at it. That was good football. It's only since the latter stages now.
Yeah. The thing is, it's so hard to do because you have to play expansive, proper attacking football, not possession football, but attacking football, and win with it, right? So someone would have to be really successful with it while the other teams play in a way that stifles that. And this is the problem why I feel like it might be dead because we've seen it. If you teams try and be that attacking and stifle, everyone just sits back in a low block. And
it works. I think in a way, Dan, it works for one season. You saw that with Leeds under Bielsa. It works for that first season. But then teams work out how to play against you, and then it makes it really difficult, or you don't progress. That's what I was laughing at earlier.
Imagine, Devonshire and Brooklyn, like geniuses like that. Like you just don't get. You're just not going to get that. But it's tough. It's tough. So maybe I will have to watch more European football because the Premier League has bored the life. I used to watch, be watching a lot of games that ain't West Ham games and seeing like Premier League games on tonight. Brighton versus flipping Liverpool. Oh, let's give it a watch. But 9 times out of 10, it's going to be a boring game.
Yeah.
So maybe check out Europe. Like I said, I was so impressed with that Barcelona, and I'm so impressed by him. So impressed with PSG as well. We just need a bit more. Our Leeds fans said spot on, Scott. I'm a Leeds fan. Bielsa football was mad great when it worked, but kamikaze and ugly when it didn't. I mean that the Old Trafford batterings. Sorry to remind you about that, Paul. But it's like there has to be some sort of middle ground or something. But
it's hard. There's not many managers nowadays that can adapt game to game.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. You've got to be able to, and I think that's the difference. You've got to be able to adapt. You've got to look at your competition and change the way you're playing. And it is a bit hard to do because obviously it's difficult to set up a team to play one way and then to play another way. But it's what you've got to do. You've got to focus on this is how we're going to play, and go it. But every single player's got to be pulling in the right direction. You can't have half the team do it. You want to play a high press. You can't play a high press unless all the team are playing a high press.
Yeah, and 100%. And this is the thing. When we just on bringing it back to West Ham, you know, when we had Moyes and we wanted an attacking manager, right? We wanted to move on and get a manager that plays exciting. We got Lopetegui in, and it was exactly the same. Nothing changed. We've
Yep.
got Pottery. It's exactly the same. Nothing changed, and it started to just kill my hope of and that it's like this. It's like a pipe dream because it's not like under Moyes, like we weren't playing the counter attack and just giving up and defend. It was sideways, backwards passing, control, and it was the same with Lopetegui. I think maybe the idea of attacking football is a dying breed. Of what we know it as attacking football as we know of what we want. When we saw West Ham under Big Sam in his last season, right? That first half season we played that swashbuckling football. West Ham under Slaven Bilic last season at Upton Park. West Ham under Gianfranco Zola. West Ham under Alan Pardew, right? So some of those those brand of football, obviously Harry Redknapp's, you can go back to Ronald Greenwood, the West Ham way. Maybe that football that we've been pining for is just gone. It's just not attainable. So it doesn't matter what manager we get, unless we get a maverick like a Bielsa type or an Ange Postecoglou, these rare managers that can only play one way. Maybe we're going to have to accept that we're going to be bored watching West Ham because it's not the manager, it's the game and where it is.
Yeah. Exactly, mate, and that's it sums it up perfectly, mate. It does sum it up perfectly.
Yeah,
it's. I look at it this season. When you look back at this season, when it finishes, you can sit there and say probably Bournemouth has entertained people this year the way they've played, and sort of put themselves amongst the top sides. Forest haven't always been that interesting, especially since they've had that opportunity to get Champions League. They're sort of started to bottle it. They're trying to defend games instead of go at teams. Fulham on and off this season have been good to watch, but you're looking at it more. The more the teams down.
But the thing is, Scott, we don't watch them every week as well, so we'll catch them here and there.
Yeah.
So watching them week to week, you might find, they're not like that every week. They may be good that one week because you have them one-off games. It's not to say every game in the Premier League is always boring. There'll be a game that just fucking goes. Click. But it's few and far between. And
exactly, mate.
And that's the problem. Well, it's interesting. Paulie says I've never been able to watch European League matches, and I think the thing is, it's the lack of interest in the stakes for me, because I don't watch football for football's sake, right? I like to watch obviously entertaining matches, but I like to care about the stakes of the game. So, like Barcelona, Inter Milan, it's a Champions League semi-final. You care about the stature of the Champions League, what it would mean to both teams, right? There's stakes there. You watch a league match, say a La Liga match or a Serie A match, you don't have the same care about the jeopardy of the league matches. It's a one-off league game. I don't care, like, in the grand scheme of things, if, Betis finish 6th or get top 4. You know what I mean? Maybe I'm interested. Yeah. Okay, like it's the El Clasico. That's this mistake. Both fans care. They want to win. But in our league, it's in our country. We know these places where these clubs are represented. We know the pyramid. We're familiar with this. So it's who gets relegated. We know what it means. We connect with it. So I get where it's come. I'm like, it's great to watch good football, but has to be stakes. Yeah. And Paul, I'm saying I watched the Champions League. I don't watch this new group. I don't watch the previous group stages. I care about, there has to be something at stake, which is why American football, American sports, I can't really get into. I was watching the Knicks Celtics playoffs because that's where it kind of gets interested. But they've got like 5 games or something. They play each other like multiple times.
Yeah, it's a bit silly, and it's like baseball. Don't they play each other 7 times or something like that?
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like, even when the stakes actually come about and you actually get the stakes, the jeopardy is gone because they play each other shitloads of times. Like, imagine the Champions League final. They didn't just play a one-off game. They played each other 5 times. So that just makes like the first few games pointless.
Yeah. Well, imagine they play each other 5 times and one team wins the first 3. What's the point in the last 2?
Yeah. Like that's why I just can't, because there's no status, there's no relegation, there's no promotion, there's no qualification for an elite tournament separate. Like if you finish top 4, obviously they have the playoffs, but the playoffs is the only goal. There's no winning the league.
Yeah.
There's just like get to the playoffs, win the playoffs. That's it. And do you know what makes me sick? I'm going a little side tangent. I says, whoever wins the NBA or the Super Bowl, they call themselves world champions.
Yeah, I know.
Even though they don't play the fucking world.
No,
they just play out arrogant. That's sorry. Any Americans that are watching, America thinks they are the world. They're the center of the world. If you win America,
in the baseball, the World Series.
It's the World Series. That no other country in the world are eligible for.
Like, it is, mate. Yeah, I'm with you with American sport. I used to watch American football. Not anymore. I've never really been a lover of baseball. Basketball's good. I like basketball. You know?
Yeah, I like basketball, but again, it's just the format of the league. Like the games don't feel like they ever. I watched the other night. The fucking Celtics Knicks games was amazing because the Celtics were winning by 20, and then the Knicks came back in overtime and won by 3 points of a like last minute 3-pointer. So when you have those, the games themselves can have those interest, but you don't know if you're going to get one of them. But the actual jeopardy of the game. This was game 1 in like a 5-game series. So it's oh, okay. So in the grand scheme of things, what does it mean?
Yeah.
They just don't know how to do sport. That's their problem. Yeah. Right? How can they not look at us and go, right, okay. I mean, they're big enough. Like we look how many teams we've got in the football period. What, 192 teams? It's 192, isn't it? Or 92? 92.
92.
92 teams.
Yeah.
The country as big as them, surely they could get like, more than 92. They could get shitloads and have a pyramid of their own. So college sports games are better. Yeah, I don't know why people are more like so interested like in the college.
Because there's a lot more riding on it. And the mad thing is, mate, they're all on, every single game's on TV in college basketball and stuff like that. Well, every game's on telly. I remember being out in Texas, right, flicking through the sports channels, and it was just like this college, playing each other, basketball, ice hockey, American football, everything. Every single game is televised.
Imagine like we did that here. You had Newvic versus Waltham Forest College, Redbridge. No, I know they mean that to them. Their colleges are university. Our colleges are like, but like they would be like.
There is cricket games now, right? Played over the parks that are televised in India.
Bloody hell!
Yeah,
that's mental. Lots of Americans, they are. You are getting a rise in it because they just look at it, and when they actually get into it, they see. Wait a minute, like every point is important. You have multiple things to play for. You have survival. You have all these European places, conference, Europa League, Champions League, then winning the league. Yeah. And then you have the competitions. You have the FA Cup. You have the Carabao Cup. You have the Europa League, Conference League, Champions League. Like everything, like so many games. There's hardly any dead rubbers.
Yeah.
And like 3 points is everything. And then like teams in the lower leagues, and you see what it means for a team like Bournemouth to get promoted and stay up and how it's transformed. It's so much more interesting. Like they have franchises and they can move their franchise. Like who was it they moved to Las Vegas? Was it the Raiders or someone?
Yeah,
Raiders.
Really in it. That's just where it goes. That's just where it all goes wrong for them. Is that you can just up stakes, move out of the where you actually like where you could build a team in one area and then up stakes and move somewhere else.
Yeah, it's very rare over here. I know Arsenal did it. Leighton Orient moved from Hackney. It's very, very rare. Obviously, we've moved from Upton Park to Stratford, but we're still winning the borough of
you're still in the same thing. I think the only team that's really done it major move was Wimbledon going to Milton Keynes.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
even
yeah.
Arsenal moved from South London to North London. It weren't that far.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. They'll take you to a whole nother state.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Which is
listen, like,
technically mate, it's out there. It's technically like lifting West Ham out of Stratford and going and stick them in the Czech Republic.
yeah, yeah.
Mate,
Imagine, innit?
yeah,
Like moving that far. Imagine even just taking West Ham and sticking them in Yorkshire.
yeah.
Like your
Mate,
local clubs. Go on.
move a team from one side of Texas to the others, like lifting it out of London and sticking it in Ireland. If
Yeah.
not further. It's mental out there.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah. It is Oakland. Yeah, they moved the Oakland Raiders. Yeah, they moved the Oakland stuff to Las Vegas. I guess Las Vegas is. No, the £50 bet I had was with a Spurs fan. So these not only are these pricks wasting my time watching this shit football and losing, they're costing me 50 quid.
You're
See
gonna
how
have to pay Spurs around 50 quid in the worst
yeah,
Premier League season they've ever had is embarrassing.
exactly. So you see why I have such disdain for these football players. Like there is no reason that we're 1 point behind them.
Yeah.
They have a European final to focus on. If West Ham cannot pick up more points than Spurs in these last 3 games, I don't know. Like they've got Palace at home.
Yep.
Okay.
Who's
Like
after
they've
that?
got Villa away, and then they've got Brighton at home. And that's after the Brighton at home is after. So they're either going to be on the piss or they're going to be demoralised.
That game's going to be terrible, Palace Spurs, because Palace have got one eye on the FA Cup final and Spurs have got one eye on the Europa League final.
Yeah.
That's definitely one to watch that.
Yeah. And we've got no eyes. We're blind. It's yeah. Do I want Orient to win? Do you know, I always keep an eye on Leighton Orient. I went right off them when we started to move to this stadium, but now Barry Hearn is no longer the owner. Yeah, I want Orient to win.
Yeah, mate. As I said, my missus is an Orient fan, and my father-in-law, my brother-in-law. So I want them to do well. I've always had a soft spot for Orient.
Yeah, same. I don't know when the last time they was in the championship. I don't remember. I don't recall them being in the championship.
Not for a while. But they don't have a good track record in playoff finals.
No, and they've got the competition. Wickham have been really good this season.
Yep.
They're going to be favourites, although even though they've dropped all the way down to 5th, I mean they was in contention for 2nd, but Stockport been good. So yeah,
they've been decent as well.
Yeah, so they're going to be the least favourites in that game.
Yeah, they had a good run towards the end of the season to get where they are.
Yeah, so hopefully they can do it. Like that's what I'll be pulling for them. It'd be great to see. Like Leighton Orient, obviously, look, it's the next closest club to West Ham, and it gets some investment.
Former I'm double checking he's still playing from Connor Coventry, playing for Charlton.
Yeah, so Connor Coventry, who are you pulling for? Fucking hell, I can't talk. Connor Coventry or Leighton Orient?
I've got to pull for Leighton Orient. Oh, sorry, I've got to.
Wow. Is Dagenham back in the conference?
No, they got relegated out of that.
They got relegated out of the National League.
Yeah, I think they're now going to be National League South, aren't they?
Oh my God, they was in League One at one point.
Mate, it's crazy how they're falling.
Wow, what happened to Tim Howard buying her? Didn't he own her? Wow, that is a shambles. They need some movie stars to buy him out. I remember The Rock was going to buy Southend. Could you imagine?
It's mental, isn't it? That's mental.
Yeah, honestly. So yeah, listen, let's just hope we bloody get a win on Sunday. We need it.
Yeah, we need a lift around the club now. It's been a long slog this season. Give us a lift, give us something to cheer about. Go up to, especially we'll no doubt we've sold out the away allocation for United, so let's hope the players give all them people going up there something to cheer about and something to support. It's what we need massively. What do you think prediction wise, mate? What are you looking at?
prediction. You know what? I've predicted so many fucking wins, and it's been over 2 months. I'm just gonna say 1-1. I'm so tired of trying to be Mr. Optimistic. Oh, we're going to do it. We're gonna win 2-1. We're gonna beat Spurs 3-2. The optimism has been drained out of me. I don't have any left to give. I'm gonna say 1-1 and just hope and pray that we get the win.
Mate,
I'm so tired, Scott.
I can't see it. I just can't see us winning. I just got this feeling we're going to get beat. I think we're going to lose.
How can anyone see us winning anything? We haven't seen us win a game in over 2 months. Yeah. I don't see anyone can see us win it.
I think we're going to keep to this draw, loss. So I think we're going to lose. That's what I'm saying. 2-1 United.
Oh,
I hope I'm wrong.
If we lose to them,
if we go the rest of this season without picking up a point,
mate, I just don't know.
Shameful.
Do you know what I said? The only fucking joy is a lot of this shit will not be here next season. That's the only positivity I can give.
That's it, mate.
And we can get some players that actually want to put a shift in our shirt and actually care and have some pride and self-respect as professionals.
Yeah, exactly.
That's my positive.
Oh, sorry.
Do you know what, Scott? You've kind of got, and you're sneezing, but you sound better. The whiskey is actually.
My throat seems to be clearing, but my nose is playing up like mad.
Yeah, that's a sign.
2 hours, mate.
That's a sign of it leaving your body.
Yeah,
it's trying to leave. So yeah, listen. Everyone, get your prediction. I'm seeing a lot of few wins. So, is it true? I think Alvarez has been a falling out. The back injury is usually a story. It's usually an excuse. Back injury. I think there's something gone wrong there. Seriously. But then they're putting up videos of him doing like food tests and shit. Unless they were filmed ages ago.
A back injury is the easy excuse, isn't it? No one can prove you've got a back injury. That's why so many people got paid out in insurance scams. So, you can't prove that there's a back injury and not a back injury. So,
yeah. So we'll see. But yeah, it was a long one tonight. Do you know what? It was just good to just sit and just have a chat about stuff, and just have a good old-fashioned football chat.
Yes.
Do you know what?
Football, the Pope, American sports.
Celine Dion.
Celine
Dion, yeah. So, good one. Come on, Scotty, show some up. This is how you know how bad it is when Scott's not predicting. When Scott's just so pessimistic.
Go back and watch me early previews and just see me never predict us to lose.
Oh God. So yes, it'll be a watch along Sunday. I'll see what Jace is doing. Scott happens to be about. He's welcome. I once met you in Attic, lad. I remember. Joe, I actually remember that. Attic in Romford. It's closed down now. Yes, I actually remember that. They used to play like they used to play like 80s and 90s and stuff like it. Do you know what it was? I think it used to be Time and Envy.
Oh yeah, I know where Time and Envy was.
You know the one in the corner.
Yeah.
And it became Attic. So, but yeah, good to see you here, mate. Yes, I do remember that chat and bumping into some like half pissed up and good stuff. So, thank you all for watching.
Yes,
it's been therapeutic. That's just what I'm saying. Some people want us to come and be positive. Just having a moan just sometimes makes you feel better.
Yeah. Constructive moaning, though, mate. Constructive.
It's not moaning for moaning's sake, but sometimes you need to vent. You need to get it off your chest with friends.
Exactly.
And, yeah, we appreciate you all. So, like I said, Sunday watch along. or a stress along, moan along, cry along. Hopefully, at the end, it will be a cheer along.
Yeah, fingers crossed, mate.
Scott singing FNP out. Not with that.
No,
cold.
definitely not.
But
my voice was so bad yesterday, right? I rung someone up I've worked with, and he didn't even realise it was me on the phone. That's how bad my voice was yesterday. So yeah, there definitely won't be no singing.
Do you know what? You sent me like a voicemail earlier, and I didn't even notice a voice note. I didn't even notice. I didn't think, oh, Scott sounds there. So like oblivious.
Been a lot better today, mate. A lot better.
Yeah, well, that's good. That's, you know what I mean? That's the main thing. Right. I will put a link in the chat for you who want to hear Scott sing to the one and only. The one and only. There you go. There you go. You can go. Oh, 113 likes. Thank you very much.
There we go. It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, Nikki would have been out. Yeah, Nikki would have definitely been out an hour ago. He'd have been like, right, let's wrap this up. He's at some sort of, him and Ryan are at some sort of dinner.
E13 event at the bowling, I believe.
What was it? My sound bar fucking went on Bluetooth.
E13 event at the bowling. I think it's like a big match revisited type thing.
Right, yeah, they're there. So yeah, you can, if you want to hear Scott sing you out, you can click that link. So listen, thank you all for watching. We'll see you Sunday. One thing left to say. Come on, you irons.